Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie Dawson from the Villa of Hope, and I am the prevention manager the Villa of Hope. And today, our topic is self-care and stress management.
Hi everyone, my name is Amy, and so today we're going to be talking about self-care and stress, as we know that it's a time that a lot of us are feeling a little bit more stressed than usual. And so it's really important to talk about taking care of ourselves and how to manage our stress. So I like this picture here, handle stress like a boss. That's what we're going to be talking about today. You know, everyone has stress in their lives. We all do, right? It's inevitable sometimes, but how do we manage it? How are we taking care of ourselves? So that's what we're going to be talking about.
So, we want to talk a little bit about coping mechanisms. What can people do? And not just now during, the COVID time, but when Amy and I go out into the community, we teach this to adults and kids about, how to take care of yourselves and how to manage your emotions and know what you're feeling. So it's important for now, especially, but also to become a practice in our lives. So when we talk about coping mechanisms, they're strategies that people use to help manage our emotion. Okay. So a lot of times they're used to manage an external situation that's causing problems for us. So when we look at some healthy coping mechanisms, meditation is a big one that Amy and I try to get people to experience if they've never done it before. Really good for keeping you in the moment, for kind of lowering your blood pressure, focusing, and just getting some quiet time. Along with that might go some breathing exercises and aromatherapy, which is using different smells to kind of help us through the breathing and the meditation. We also love the idea of journaling and listening to music. We get a lot of these ideas from the teens that we work with too that are also using this in their life. And one of the biggies that everybody could use and could do anywhere is exercise. It's so good for our mind and our body. Also reaching out to talk to someone. Right now, we're doing a lot of Zoom and a lot of people are trying to connect in a time when it's very difficult to connect. So that connection is super important for being able to cope and feel like you're not alone, whether it's a friend, a counselor, your work wife, which Amy is mine, being able to connect, right? And using humor and also finding time to relax, whether that means going in a quiet place, doing a little bit of yoga, a walk, something, watching Netflix and just relaxing. It's so important to know what your strategies are and what works for you, because not all of them work for everyone. So you can start to learn what helps you and then make that a part of your daily life.
So here are some unhealthy ways that people tend to handle stress. And these are the most common. Overindulging on the caffeine, drinking coffee more than they should, or the energy drinks that a lot of teens are using and drinking. I know a lot of people will start smoking when they're under stress, or maybe vaping more. And now that school is no longer in session on campus and you're home, maybe start noticing if you are hitting your vape more than you had before too. Not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're going to bed later. Compulsive spending. Maybe you're spending too much money. You're buying things that you don't really need because in the moment it makes you feel better. Drinking excessively. So, alcohol. Over or under eating, and maybe not eating healthy nutrition. Maybe you're just eating junk food, and that is something that does make you feel better, but you really have to be a little bit more mindful if that is happening. Taking over-the-counter drugs, or maybe you're overworking yourself.
Aim, can I say something before we move on?
Yes.
I also love the picture that you put in there. And I think a lot of times people say, I'm so stressed right now, I can't take care of myself, right? So you get stressed and you get worked up, and then you forget the healthy ways to take care of yourself when you're feeling like that. So people get stressed and overwhelmed, and they kind of, go back to maybe some unhealthy ways. So important that if you make that a pattern of life, that you're taking care of yourself on a regular basis in healthy ways, it's going to be like habit and common nature. So our next slide, I love this. What's your daily routine? And it kind of goes along with what Miss Aimee and I have been talking about. Self check-in questions. Like, we teach this to the kids out in the community all the time, and to families and staff and parents. If you can check in every day and have that self-awareness, how am I feeling? What do I need? What's my self-care plan? Being aware of that is the first step in managing your feelings. So being able to take time to say, how am I feeling today? What do I need? What can I do? Is kind of the first step. Whether that looks like you start every morning a little earlier and you do a meditation, or you do a little journaling, or when you're having your coffee or your tea, you're just doing a check-in. But these are all ways to be more aware of what you're feeling and to make self-care a part of your day and your life.
So what is self-care? Self-care is any activity we do deliberately in order to take care of our mental, emotional, and physical health. So here I have listed a few examples. So knowing who you are and setting boundaries, getting sleep you need and getting your rest, maybe just take a nap throughout the day, go to bed at a reasonable hour every night, finding a way to decompress throughout the day. So I like to do this one, and I like to turn to my phone and play a game for a few minutes. It's kind of how I de-stress throughout the day. Maybe take mini breaks. You can text a friend, go look at some pictures. And if you look over here, I posted a picture of a puppy. Who doesn't like to look at puppies? And it's a reminder, it's time for a break. Your brain needs a break. And what other ones do we have? Taking time, getting to know you better. So identifying your temperament and your triggers and planning accordingly might help lessen inevitable stress, right? If you're more aware of your surroundings and your triggers, you can be more mindful into planning ahead. And then taking time to feed your spiritual self. So whether it's meditation, going for a walk outside, maybe praying, or just practicing gratitude every day. And then we have identifying what you enjoy doing and what's fun for you, and make a serious effort. I love being in the kitchen and listening to music. And that really helps me. What helps you, Miss Stephanie?
I love to go for a good run while I'm listening to music. Exercise pumps me up. That's mine.
Good.
But I will eat what you make in the kitchen. Okay, so what's your self-care plan? It's not that hard to do, right? So when we go out into the community and whoever we work with, we help them make little, self-care plans that you can use as a guide to, what do I need to do for myself today? And you can refer back to it. It's a really good tool. So when you look at the little self-care plan, write down 5 things about yourself, kind of book an appointment you've been putting off. Do things that are going to help you. Asking for help. Maybe sometimes you need a little time alone, especially in this time of quarantine when people are stuck in their house. Have the presence of mind before you get angry or blow up or just kind of get grouchy to say, I think I need to go for a walk, or I think I need to go in my room and be alone a little bit. And be aware of what you're feeling and then know what to do about it. Putting yourself first is not selfish. It's okay to take care of yourself, because when you're taking care of yourself, that positivity will trickle everywhere else. Okay. And then you're also a role model for other people. Setting boundaries and asking for what you need is so important. Being aware of what you're feeling and then being able to set those boundaries is a huge, huge aspect of self-care. Okay. And it also will help you say, I need this right now, so I need to make sure that I do that for myself. Goes right along with saying no when you're overwhelmed or you're just not in a good place to do it because you've given too much. So taking the time to make a self-care plan it's vital in making sure that every day this becomes a part of your life. So we hope you take the time to do that.
So here we have a self-care plan worksheet, which I can attach to an email so you can be, it can be printed out and you can fill it out at home. Or you can just copy this and just make one at home as well. So make sure you fill out all the top part first in the physical, emotional section, relationships, what can you do for self-care, psychological, spiritual, are you meditating, are you taking walks? And then what you can do for when you're at school or in the workplace. And then down there on the bottom, the overall balance. What might get in the way of you being able to do this? You know, what would be some roadblocks? You got to think ahead, plan ahead. And then what negative strategies do you need to avoid? What are your triggers? And then if you implement your plan, how might you feel? So thinking more about following through with it. And at the end, what's your end result? Are you going to feel less stress and better about having a plan? And then that might get you into doing it more and more on a daily routine.
So the thing we like about this too is then when you take the time, the quiet time alone to just reflect on this, right, and build it, put it somewhere where you're going to be able to see it on a daily basis, because then it becomes more part of your life that you're doing regularly. When we do it with all of the kids in school, they will sometimes, you know, put it in their planner where they can see it, and maybe in their classroom, they put it on their desk, but put it somewhere so that you can reflect on it daily. And that helps, you know, kind of make it, it reinforces that it becomes a part of your day.
And you know, too, sometimes we have students talk about they shared it with someone too. So if they are going for a walk, if they're doing, you know, something that they might not be doing, how is anyone supposed to know that this is part of your self-care plan? You know, sharing that, they might be more supportive in that way too.
Great idea. I love that. Awesome. So let's talk about stress. So we found a little quiz that we would love you to, if you have the time, just for a little self-awareness and a little knowledge, kind of go over the quiz and be as honest as you can. Like, you know, sit with it and think about it a little bit. Like some of the, you know, the questions, do you have trouble sleeping? Kind of think about your life in the past couple weeks or month. And I know this is a rare time, so it might be a little different. You might want to do it now and then when life gets back to normal a little bit. But look at, you know, do you exercise regularly? Do you notice that you've had kind of stomach problems or headaches, right? And you're not feeling as good? Have you noticed that maybe you're smoking a lot more to kind of deal with stress? And would you like to use a healthier way? And then, you know, are you taking good care of yourself? Try to be honest about that. You know, what do I do to take care of myself? So it's just a little way that we wanted to put in here, an opportunity for you to maybe see where you fit and where you rank and give you an idea of how am I doing? You know, just kind of a check-in.
And then you can always tally up your score yourself too. And it'll show you where you fall into that category.
Yep. Great resources. So
yes, resources.
Aimee and I love meditation. We try to tell everybody about it wherever we go. Listen, it's not for everyone, but maybe you've never tried it. Maybe you already love it. We put in some links for teens, for children. Maybe you guys, while we're home in this quarantine, could do it as a family. Maybe you set aside time every morning or at night. It is a great tool for lowering your blood pressure, for focusing, for just relaxing and being in the moment, which, you know, pretty much every time I do it, I end up feeling just kind of refreshed and like, okay, that was worth it. And we've shown some of the kids in the school and some of them have absolutely loved it. And we've been super surprised at how they've responded. So give it a shot if you haven't.
And there's always some that are like 2 minutes, you know, something quick. It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. You know, maybe you start a minute for a week and then you increase it, or if just the 1 minute works, that's okay too, because you're really giving yourself time to be a little bit more present and mindful, and focusing on your breathing will really help you become more relaxed.
And if it's awkward and a little weird at first, we know sometimes with the guided meditation, somebody's kind of talking to you and the kids will laugh and they're like, this is weird. Just roll with it and see how you do. And then here's our contact info. We miss everybody in the school, and we are here for our Villa kids, our staff, and the community as a whole. And we just want to let you know that we're here, and we hope you're safe and doing well. Take care of yourselves.
And if you have any other topic ideas for Stephanie and I, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you. Be well.
Bye.